And the last point which I would like to take just maybe 5 minutes, sorry maybe, and that is regarding the division of this world. This is again a very wrong pretext which is taken, and it is considered that all Western world or all non-Muslim world, the terrorist and extremist people, they have been given a wrong ideology. They misuse the terms and misapply the Islamic terms on wrong places. They consider the whole non-Muslim world is Darul Harb. But what to talk of non-Muslim countries? They consider the Muslim countries have already turned into Darul Harb. That's why they are fighting war against the Pakistan, and Islam says even there is a corrupt government. I don't mention the names. Even there is a corrupt Muslim government in certain country. Even then you cannot take arms against them. You have means, peaceful means to change the government. My last chapter of Fatwa deals with this topic. What are the peaceful means? Democratic means, constitutional means, peaceful means. Enter into the process, get integrated with the society, to the society, and work peacefully to change the situation, as every civilized society and every country is doing. Nobody is allowed in any case, even they are corrupt. So they say, according to Islam, first of all, let me mention that this categorization of Darul Islam or Darul Harb or some others, I have categorized into 5. Some old jurists used to categorize into 2. Some made into 3. I have categorized into 5. First of all, let us say this is not a textual matter. This division of the world or countries is not mentioned in Quranic text or the text of Holy Prophet's Hadith. Finished. This is an ijtihadi matter, which has been derived by the Islamic jurists, but on the basis of Quran and Sunnah. So there are 5 abodes, cutting short, according to the teachings of Quran, which can be derived juristically. Darul Islam. And Darul Islam means land of peace, abode of peace, and not abode of the laws of Islam. Again, this is a confusion. Imam Abu Hanifa, Shamsul Aimma Sarkhasi, Imam Tahawi, Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, Allama Ibn Taymiyyah, Aimma of Fiqh Shafi'i, and Imam Sabi al-Maliki, the Al-Fiqh al-Malikiyya, Fiqh al-Shafi'iyya, Al-Fiqh al-Hanbaliyya, Fiqh al-Hanafiyya, all 4 Sunni schools, even the Jafri schools also. They agreed upon this idea. Majority of the Islamic jurists, majority, either they should consider Sultan or Ahkam, the rule or the laws. They say if a country is being ruled by Muslims, there are 3 conditions. And the people living there, Muslims or non-Muslims, if they are getting peace and security, and the law of kufr is not the constitution of that land. Kufr or shirk is not the law of the land, not the constitution of that land. Even a single law of Islamic Sharia, only one law is enforced, and all other laws of Islamic Sharia are not enforced. Even then that land is known to be abode of peace, Darul Islam. And they say, the Aim of Fiqh, they say that the reason why this abode is known as Darul Islam, they say not because of Ainul Islam, they say because of Salam. Not because the laws of Sharia and laws of Islam are enforced. That's why those countries would be known as the abode of Islam. No, they say if any country is guaranteeing peace to the inhabitants, to the civilians, because of peace, those countries are known to be Darul Islam. If the peace is guaranteed, freedom of religion is guaranteed, cultural freedom, religious freedom, life, honor, property, business, all human rights, they are guaranteed, protected, and there is no fear for their lives. So because of this guaranteed peace, and peace is known as Salam, and the word Islam has been originated from the word Salam, Salima, Salama, Silm. That's why it is known as abode of peace. So in the light of all these Aimma and jurists, all Western countries even, you may not mention any country, including US, Britain, or all Western countries, where the Muslims or non-Muslims are not getting guaranteed peace in their lives. The Muslims are allowed to build their mosques. Religion is free. They are allowed to build Islamic center. They are allowed to do Islamic research. They are allowed to do Islamic big gatherings. Just 2 weeks before, I was addressing a conference in London, 50,000 Muslim people, GPU conference, 50,000 people, they were gathered. You are allowed in London, and I no need to mention, and I can challenge, I can mention dozens of countries of Islamic world where you are not allowed to have this kind of gathering. You are not allowed to have 5,000 people gathered together. This much freedom is allowed to you. You go for Hajj, you go for Umrah, you do your charity, your zakah, your Hajj, your Som, everything. You are free to do everything. Then number 2, as a citizen in US, in Britain, in Western world, you get all benefits of citizenship as other religious people belonging to other faiths and dominions are getting. There is no differentiation between you. So if you are getting all those rights with full freedom and security, which many of those rights are not available in many Islamic countries and Muslim countries. So still, is there any room to say that these countries are Darul Harb, abode of war? I guarantee that all these countries are similar to Darul Islam. And I have no hesitation in saying Darul Islam if it is not misunderstood. If by saying Darul Islam, if it is not misunderstood, so it is like, I would say, it is similar to Darul Islam because these countries are the countries of peace. This is Darul Islam, abode of peace where the life is secure and religion, everything. Second is Darul Harb. And Darul Harb is only that country which is at war on you. That's it. When two nations are fighting with each other, one to one, that is Darul Harb. And even if two countries are fighting, you can't attack on the civilian population, non-combatants through suicide bombings and terrorism. That is again haram. War is between the armies, not between the millions and millions of the people, civilians. That is totally haram. Holy Prophet is guarantee for them in Islam. So this is the position of Darul Harb. And number 3 is known as, which is said, Darul Sulh, abode of conciliation. Abode of conciliation means if two countries were fighting, they were at war, or they were going to fight. Before the fight started, or during the fight, one country surrendered and they entered into a peace. So before war started, if they finished the war or they finished the warfare on a particular conditions, so that particular conditions, it makes that country Darul Sulh, the country of conciliation. So the laws for the country of conciliation are the same as the laws of Darul Islam. Third category is Darul Ahad, abode of treaty, where there is a permanent, because the sulh is conditional. Conciliation is on certain conditions, and it can be for stipulated period for 5 years, for 10 years, as in case of Hudaybiyah. But Darul Ahad, if you enter in a permanent, everlasting or long time treaty of peace, it is known as Darul Ahad. So if it is a Darul Ahad, so every person belonging to that country is Mu'ahad. Whether he lives there or he lives in the Muslim country, individual can also be a Mu'ahad. So this is Darul Ahad, a country, abode of treaty. So the abode of treaty, the people of abode of treaty enjoy the same rights as the people of Darul Islam. And the fifth one, a new term which I am giving, that is Darul Hayad. Darul Hayad. So we have to determine the relationship between two countries. So if there is a basic original relationship of Muharaba, war, answer is no. The basic original relationship between the Muslims or non-Muslims, or the Muslim country or a non-Muslim country, is it sulh, original? Answer is no. Is it ahad, treaty? Answer is no. Is it mukhalafa, hostility? Answer is no. Nothing. Then what is the original relationship? It is neutrality. Neutrality is known as al-muhayada. Al-muhayada, Darul Hayad, al-muhayada. It is neither al-musalama, nor al-musalaha, nor al-musadaqa, nor al-muharaba, nor al-muwafaqa. It is al-muhayada, neutral. All states, Muslims and non-Muslims, were originally neutral to each other. Then their further relations created the nature of relationship. If they decided to remain like friends, they became Darul Ahad and Darul Sulh. If they decided to fight each other, they became Darul Harb. And if they decided to remain neutral, they became the neutral land, Darul Muhayyada. So this is the condition of whole world. To me, the whole world is now similar to Darul Islam. Whole world is the abode of peace, except if the two countries or nations are fighting each other, that particular area excluded. Or the whole world, Muslim or non-Muslim, East and West, is Darul Ahad because of UNO. The whole world, all international community and all international nations, they have entered into a treaty of peace, mutual peace, through UNO, by being the member of this international organization. So everybody is bound to the charter of UNO, being a signatory of that charter, member of that charter. So everybody, it is an obligation to maintain the peace, to live and let live other with peace, in good, peaceful, friendly relations. So because of UNO, this is Islamic law, of Quranic law. Because of this Ahad, a treaty, international treaty, now every single nation member of the UNO has become the part of Darul Ahad. And the Quran says, if there is Darul Ahad, you can't take life of any person. This is like taking life of a Muslim. So just quoting Darul Harb, I have already mentioned, it becomes only if the other country attacks on you. You can't initiate the war. Not in order to make them Muslims. There is no coercion, absolutely no coercion on the people to make Muslims. Surah Al-Kafirun, full surah, chapter of the Quran, was revealed on the subject of freedom of religion. O non-believers, you are not going to worship my God. Neither you are going to worship my God, nor I am going to worship your God, your idols. Repeating again and again the whole statement. Finally he said, Lakum deenukum waliya deen. You are free in your deen, in religion, I am free in my religion. So this is the guarantee of freedom of religion given by Quran and the Prophet of Islam. So Darul Ahad, if somebody attacks on you, it becomes Darul Ahad, Darul Harb. And Darul Ahad, Quran says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ يَسِلُونَ إِلَىٰ قَوْمٍ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ مِيثَاقٌ. Mithaq. If there is a treaty between you and the other nation, then you can't take arms against them. And against their allies too. Not only against the nation who is in treaty with you, but again, not against their allies you can't take. This is Surah An-Nisa, verse 90. And the same thing which I stated, where I derived Al-Muayyada, Darul Hayat, this neutral lands, it is again stated in Holy Quran. Quran says the same verse, Nisa 90. فَإِنْ اِتَازَلُوكُمْ. If they remain isolated from you, indifferent from you, فَلَمْ يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ. And they are not ready to fight you. وَأَلْقُوا إِلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامَ. And they want to live peacefully. These are the neutral states, this Quran says. Then فَمَا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ عَلَيْهِمْ سَبِيلًا. Then Almighty Allah has made no way for you to fight them. So the neutral states, you can't fight them. And all states are possessing much higher status than the neutral by UNO, being the Darul Ahad and becoming similar to Darul Islam. Because Darul Islam, according to the overwhelming majority of the jurists, means the land where the guarantee of peace and guarantee of freedom of religion is granted. So these were a few points. I'm sorry, maybe I have taken more time than it was decided, but I wanted to at least briefly explain certain concepts which were necessary to understand the whole thing. Thank you very much. Shall I come down?